Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Talkinsen. It's me, Ogechi. Welcome. So, this video is a completion of a three-part video that I am doing on daddy issue, which is inspired by the story of Regina Daniels, who is a Nigerian young female actress. I have done a lot of introduction to this video or this topic of daddy issue, and I'd advise that you go to my previous videos, which I'll put the links below in the description box and also in the comment box for you to be able to easily access and also watch them so that you could get the rationale as to why I'm doing this video or using her story to inform my thoughts. Okay, for those who are new and don't know anything about what I've been doing, or you do not know anything about Regina Daniels, I'll give you a brief introduction again, so that it could help inform your thoughts as we go along. Regina Daniels, and Daniels possibly being a media name that she took for herself, as some reports from family members mentioned that Daniels may not be her real last name. Okay, so Regina Daniels is a 20-year-old, as to what I could find from the internet, okay, actress in Nigeria, which is in Hollywood industry. Okay, and she married a man of age 60s, possibly 61 at the age that she married him. And this Regina was around the age of 19 or 18 years old when the marriage first took place. Okay, the man that she married is called Ned Nwoko, and he is reported to be a billionaire in Nigeria and also a lawyer who started his practice in UK before moving to Nigeria. Her mother's name is called Rita Daniels Chukweji. I picked interest in her story when a man named Jude Ojogu, who we learned is a barrister, came out to claim that she is his daughter during the marriage period, and said that he condemned the marriage between Ned and Regina, and his reasons being that he wasn't given his fatherly rights by Ned and also Regina's mother, and also that he didn't know anything about the marriage before it became public. My interest in the story peaked when Regina indirectly denied this man to be her father, and the mother did not also verbally stand by the man's statement, but revealed to us that she raised Regina as well as her siblings as a single mother, and spoke of struggles that she went through, and one of those struggles also is financial struggle. However, after everything is said and done, Regina became pregnant and gave birth to the child, and in her child's dedication pictures, we saw the same man that came out to claim to be her father in the same picture holding Regina's child in his arms and was posing with Regina's mother and as well as Regina, and if I'm not mistaken, also Regina's husband. So it was a family picture to say. So this then helped us to confirm that definitely he knows Regina in an intimate level and also is Regina's father. That's the conclusion that I came to. Whether it's been confirmed or not becomes a different question. So that's what the claim of it became. Okay, he said that he had to forgive for peace to reign, and also I would like to assume that he had no choice but to forgive, because the way Regina went about doing her things showcased that at that point she didn't really care. And so for him to be able to participate in the child's life, he had to let go of any ills between the families, or all of them had to let go somewhere, somehow. So based on the stories that came out during this period, Regina's reaction towards the father, um, and Regina's reaction towards the father, came to the conclusion that she definitely is experiencing or has daddy issues, whether she consciously recognizes it or not. And I'll explain what daddy issue is. So this video again is focused on mentioning the results of daddy issues and effects of daddy issues that occurs in someone's life. And let's define daddy issue. Daddy issue is a term that is used to describe a person whose unconscious impulses or actions showcases a behavior consistent with a person who has a poor relationship with their father. It often occurs out of a bad relationship or of with a father or having an absent father. Okay. Um, the early onset of this issue often starts if the biological father or the adoptive birth father leaves or becomes absent in the child's life before the age of 5, which is the crucial period of attachment. Um, Most research shows that between the age of 3 and 5 are some of the key areas or key periods of attachment with a child. So if the father leaves before that age or at that age, this can lead to the child developing daddy issues. Okay. The late onset of this issue often starts with, if the father lives between the age of 6 or 13 years old. Um, so what I'm trying to say is that regardless of what age that the father lives, the person usually have daddy issues. But the most effect that this issue has on children starts from early age, and also to the early um, childhood age, which is the age of 13, before the person moves into their teen, just in their early teens. Okay. In Regina's situation, we do not know the time or the year or the age that the father left or became absent. So, here are some 4 key effects or results that could come out of daddy issue. And I'm using Regina's situation or life story as a guide and as an example as to how the issue of daddy issues affect children, and I'm focusing on daughter-father relationship. Okay, the same issue can apply to father and son relationship, but that's not my issue right now. My issue is on the daughter-father relationship. Okay, so the first issue that could arise is the attachment issue. Attachment issue means the bond between two people or things, but it's often associated with emotional bond relationship within a caregiver and the child, or caregivers and their children or child. Though in most cases the caregiver is linked to the mother, a caregiver is also a father, and there is a unique attachment bond that forms with the child and the father, and if not nurtured, can lead to a lot of insecurities. The attachment issue I wish to focus on is the ambivalent or avoidant and or resistant form of insecure attachment. This is because it appeared to me that that is what Regina is experiencing and showed this in her way by denying her father, and also in her either indirectly denying her father and not publicly acknowledging him to be her father. Based on research evidence and also video experiments on children in attachment theory, we could see that for those who fall into this form of category, once the person has left in their life, and in this case the father has left, okay, in the person's life, and comes back, they do not they do develop some sense of anger towards that person. Okay. Depending on how long the father becomes absent, some children start to resist and or are not comforted by the person's return. For some, they develop self defensive mechanisms to help them survive and become independent of needing emotional support or needing support of the person that left, as say, for example, the absent father, needing that support from the in their lives. For these individuals, you may or may never regain intimate or good interpersonal relationship with them as a father. It doesn't matter how much you try, these children suffer from trust, especially of that caregiver, and they become disobedient and or defiant. And to rebuild such relationship takes long, and it may not get to the level that they trust you completely. Okay, and it also takes time um, to do. This form of insecurity leads the younger female, in most cases, as research have shown, to chase older men or to be attracted to older men or men who behave to be more matured or older than they are. And some even seek mistreatment in some cases where the relationship with the father is very bad. Okay, these are people that have intoxicated relationship with the father, and so they think that the next person will probably be the same way, or that's how relationship should be. So that's when the person has an unhealthy relationship with their father. Research shows that those that seek out to marry older men are often looking for a sense of security and love from a father figure. For example, in Regina's situation, in an interview that she did with the husband, Ned, she said that one of her reasons for liking the man or marrying the man was that he understands her and can tolerate her stubborn behavior. This goes back to indicate that a father figure is needed in her life, or she always needed a father figure, and also showcases the need for a father figure um, as she goes out to seek out for this person. Okay, the father are often known to be authoritative or disciplinarian figure in a child's life, and so having Ned, who is similar age to her father, can offer or does offer that in her own life, and also serves a benefit as he could tolerate her behavior or stubborn behavior, as she puts it, and also possibly supports her in practicing self-restraint behavior. Please note that this doesn't mean that the younger females who seek out to marry older men are not doing so out of love or cannot marry out of love. Many couples that have been interviewed that married people of older age or have significant age differences between them and their partners have said that they enjoy healthy, fulfilling, loving, and strong, stable relationship with these people. Especially this often occurs where there is no ulterior motives or childhood issues. Okay, in that situation, but we cannot forget that there are those that go into it to seek out for pursuit of convenience, which is financial convenience, and also have other ulterior motives for marrying older men or going for older men, and vice versa for older men looking for younger women. There is also a different issue for that. Another issue that arises, or another effect of daddy issue that arises based off the case of Regina Daniels, is child security. So another reason I'll attribute possible reason, and these are all possible reasons. Please, I do not know the girl, so I wouldn't know her intention. So another possible reasons for a girl like Regina to marry that a man like Ned, okay, is also again following the father figure issue, is for someone to be a father figure in her child's life based on what we can see in her reality shows that she's showcasing on YouTube, and also in the way that she portrays herself online. um, we can see that Ned is present in his children's lives and supports them. Okay, so at least in the first and the fifth wife's children, we can see that he's very much present in the life, and you can see the fifth wife and Regina gets on very well. So regardless of how many wives that Ned has, he is present in their lives and somewhat supports them, unlike Regina's father, who was absent. Okay, for whatever reason, we do not know the reason that he is absent in her life or didn't contribute, as the mother put it, in her life. So it does make sense then to marry Ned, because he has shown that he can be present in his children's lives, okay, or at least be involved in some way or the other, regardless of what relationship he has with their mother. In other cases, children that grow up without a father do intentionally seek out to marry those who are raised in a two-parent relationship or still in good relationship with their parents. This again provides a sense of security, as they believe that the partner, having been brought up in such relationship or in such family, is unlikely to wish to divorce than those who come from similar background to them. If not this, they often seek out to marry those who do not wish to divorce. Okay. The third issue that I wish to highlight that arises out of daddy issue is self-esteem issue. Okay, out of lack of proper bond between the caregiver and being raised fatherlessness, there could be the issue of self-esteem issue or low self-esteem. Research by Lambertel has shown identified that parental involvement has three components. One is the one-to-one engagement with the child. The second is the accessibility that the child has to the father, and then and also being physically present. Okay, the father has to be physically present. And then the third one is being responsible and continually meeting the needs or fulfilling the needs of the child and the child's welfare. So these are the three components that he identified that are required. And where these components that are not met, there becomes issues. Okay, and these issues can be one of them being low self-esteem. Factors such as father's presence and closeness and communication of affection are found to be predictive variables of positive relationship and a happy marriage as well and happy wife. Research shows that daughters who have good relationship with their father um, have good self-appraisal, have good style of life, and some sort of self perception that are representative of distinctive good relationship between a father and daughter relationship. Whilst I have not watched Regina long enough or even known her long enough to confirm whether she has low self-esteem or not, we can infer based on her lifestyle that she does somehow have this low self-esteem, for the very fact that once she entered the relationship with Ned, her Instagram posts became filled with luxurious posts and she started to show off. This can showcase a deep sense of insecurity that securities that she has or have. Research shows that children that lack secure attachment with both parents suffer from low self-esteem, as I mentioned. Some children try to compensate this issue with either drug or abuse of some sort of substance, okay, extreme success in academics or career or other life accomplishments, including having a lot of money and finance in something or accomplishments in something that they wish to do, and or some of them become overindulging in something or start being more in control of something. And one of these is to make the aim is to help them to feel equal to other children that have secure attachment with both parents, and also to feel important or needed to overcome this abandonment issue, which and some of them also blame themselves. So there is a lot of issues that come up, and I wanted to read about some personal stories at this point, but I think um, I will read it out one short story that I got from a research, as this person used her own story to showcase how the effect of such issue on the child's life. I'll put research that could, or dissertations that as well, that I read that are quite telling, as some of these people use their life issues to tell of their story in that dissertation, which I think you really enjoy and find out more about them. Now, if you also enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and share, okay? So in this situation, this person said that growing up, she has never pointed the finger at her father who abandoned her, but she often blamed herself and felt that maybe she wasn't cute enough and that's why he left, or she must not have been lovable. So these are some of the self-blame issues that arises out of this sense of low self-esteem, okay? And then finally, the fourth issue that I wish to address that arises out of that issue is financial insecurities. So it is widely known, research do not have to show this, okay? It is widely known and research have shown as well that many children that are raised from a single parenthood often suffer from impoverishment, okay? And this is so much true where the mother is also not financially gaining or earning in any form or situation, or do not know how to use their money wisely, okay, or neglect their children. So many children from single parenthood are said to be coming out of a lot of poverty. And one of the reasons for them being poor is not because the mother is not working hard, most cases, okay? It's mostly because there is a an income that is missing. So where you have both parents earning, it kind of cancels out a lot of issues of financial burdens, okay? But where the money is just depending on one parent or one source of income, that becomes a financial strain, okay, in that situation. And if the person is a single mother that has more than a child or one child, then the issue is even further stressful, and the money have to be stretched across the children or the number of children this family has. Okay, one indicative thing though is also that there becomes a reduced access to resources where two people could be earning and then the other person is not earning. So, based on reports and posts that Rita Daniels posted, okay, she mentioned about her husband not being present and also indicated that there was a point that they were sleeping in an uncompleted building. So from this claim, you can see that Regina was not raised a rich girl at all. Okay. Thus, it is known that she will definitely possibly have financial insecurities due to the poor background. So research showed that people who are raised in such background, okay, once they acquire small amount of wealth, will do their best to purchase the lifestyle they have been missing for the number of years they have been found themselves struggling financially, okay, to compensate for those years, okay, and equally to feel among. And this is why you see that she ends up with this luxurious fancy cars, fancy jewelries, fancy clothes, but also buying houses. Equally, you can see that she's actually investing well in her own life and also in her own movie industry that she possibly wants to do, and also expanding her source of income by coming onto YouTube. So, therefore, she's quite quick to learn and also very quick to invest. So, she's doing well for herself in that case, but equally, you can see that financial insecurities by the lifestyle that she lives, okay, by the flashy things that she has showcased or still showcasing on her social media. So that concludes the four key areas of daddy issues that I identified that Regina Daniels has suffered from or is suffering from. Possibly, okay. And you can watch the rest of the videos that I've mentioned again, that two-part videos that I've mentioned, okay. And I'll also use this opportunity to address other common fatherlessness or absent father issues or daddy issues that arises. One of them being teenage pregnancy, another one is sexual promiscuity, promiscuity, whatever, delinquency, school dropouts, depression, psychological burden of not doing better than parent, of wanting to do better than their parents in this area of life, and also supporting their mother out of poverty. And possibly I would like to think that Regina Daniels actually do have this psychological burden as well, okay. And this is possibly the reason why once she got into that billionaire status of a housewife or of a wife, she's one of the key things that she did was buy a house, a very big mansion or house for her mother. So that's some of the psychological burden of doing better than your parents and also supporting your parents out of poverty, to and also to do things to prove people wrong, that you will not end up like the way they expect you to end up as a person raised in a single parenthood, okay. There's equally issues of poor interpersonal relationship, and this doesn't have to be with intimate relationship. It can actually occur in friendship relationship, and especially with the opposite sex, okay. Issue of self-esteem I've mentioned, but there's also the issue of neglect, okay, neglecting thyself, feeling that you're unlovable, and also poor self-image and self-blame, which I've kind of hinted in previously. And this is often the case in female situations. Okay, there's also the issue of over relying on the self which comes with that secure, insecure attachment, that you do not then rely on other people to give you the love and affection that you need, but then yourself But remember, none of us are created to be independent, so we do need other people's love and care. But for someone that has been raised in such situation, okay, or has issues of daddy issue due to absent fatherhood or fatherness, um, there becomes issue of self silencing or self reliance, um, especially, and then not giving your best in a romantic relationship, lack of acceptance, and then there is also a lot of mental confusion about yourself, and then most of them plays because of self-reliance play both gender roles and think they can play both gender roles, but in reality they forget that in doing so they are also repeating the same pattern that their father has done in another child's life who is their own children. Okay, there is a lot of pains that father absence occurs in children, especially in girls. Okay, and this particular research that I'll be leaving below have written some notes of emotional pain and hurts that this some people have come out to write an open letter to their absent father, and some of these stories are quite heartbreaking. I'll read one of them and then just advise that you will read the others. So here is a story or a short letter or an open letter of a child to the father, or describing um, her experiences after the parents divorced. And this case study is from someone called Pamela One. Remember, it's just a given name to help protect the person's identity. So this person says, I've never seen my dad. I never see my dad anymore. My parents divorced when I was 11. I always thought I was daddy's girl. I would try to arrange to see him as often as I could as I grew older. My mom let him lower the child support when they got married to help them start their new life and buy a house. And he stopped paying child support to my mom when I was 14 years old. Then after Pamela turned 18, she became a single mother, but she never called the father, to ask him for money. She says, I was on welfare and always made a point to make sure I had money to buy both his food, his lunch, and my own. If I called to ask him to meet me for lunch or something, he never called. I never wanted him to think I was calling him for money. I just wanted to have a relationship with him. They have 2 children together now. Their son and is 1 year younger than my um, daughter. So that's Pamela's story of wishing to reach out for the father, but equally just only wanting a relationship, but not one out of money. So if you enjoyed listening to this series or enjoy this topic, please do let me know in the comment below, and don't forget to share and subscribe. It's important that we raise the voice of children who becomes I would say victim for a start of either single parenthood because at the end of the day they weren't there when the adults were making the decision to have an intimate relationship in that form, but they are not victims, they are actually children of God and loved. I'm just using victim for the purpose of this video. Okay, so it's important to raise the voices or emotions and thoughts of the children in these situations and bring them to the forefront, because we hear a lot from the mother and daughter, father's perspective on why they divorced. How about the child? What happens? What are the effects on the child's life? And I think that's some of the things that has to be brought to the forefront, and one of the reasons why I decided to do this video. So on that note, thanks for listening, and don't forget to share and subscribe, and yeah, take care until another video. Goodbye. Signing off, Talkinsen.